Desperate, outnumbered and with gun turrets as your only companion, Lumencraft is a top-down shooter with base-building elements. Drill through fully destructible environment to reach precious resources, and spend them on weapons and tools protecting the last bastion of humanity. There's a moment in Lumencraft's debut trailer that absolutely sold me on its concept. Between all the bug shooting and rock blasting particle effects, it's a simple river of physics-based lava that looks like the biggest threat, trickling its way into every tunnel you dig, overflowing into every moat you make. Lumencraft developer 2 Dynamic Games describes it as a top-down shooter with tower defense elements like turrets to fend off huge swarms of underground bugs. You're humanity's last hope to obtain the precious lumen minerals, which store up enough energy to stave off extinction. Like all MacGuffins, you're not the only one after the lumen minerals, or the only one willing to fight for them. In what I can only describe as not your daddy's Dig Dug, gameplay has you drilling your way through a darkly lit cave system to search for resources or enemies, with some impressively detailed physics. As you drill, tunnel walls form around you with the same satisfying feeling you get from power washing, or from toppling a tower in teardown. I'm also reminded of the similarly physics-based Noida, where every pixel is simulated and impacted by elements. Throw a grenade and its blast radius will chunk everything in an almost perfect circle to pieces, but the ensuing destruction also means that the remaining rock wall is weak enough to crumble under the heat of the lava on the other side. The lava starts flowing, quickly inching closer to you, and it looks like your options are limited. Use your drill to dig a moat or a new tunnel that will hopefully divert it far, far away. Environmental destruction also plays a role in building and defending a base, letting you shoot through your base's own walls to create choke points. The trailer's finale shows the player dodging swipes from a giant cave troll-like creature. Whenever the troll swings its arms, it takes a chunk of cave with it, altering the battlefield on the fly. 2 Dynamic Games says they're taking inspiration from similar top-down action games like Alien Breed and Darkwood. Helping 2 Dynamic with production is Star Drifters, another Polish studio with some experience in top-down shooters via their game Danger Scavenger. There's a few UI and input quirks that will likely be ironed out over the next few weeks, but it already plays great. I'm playing it on Steam Deck and the experience is good, aside from UI/text being a bit tiny, still readable, but I expect some upscaling options to be added in future updates. The art is really cool, with beautiful shader effect and destructible terrain. It performs surprisingly well given how complex such simulation can be. I did get some performance dips on big waves or when the screen is filled with lava, but I know the devs are working on solving those issues. The gameplay is really fun. I wasn't sure it would actually be my jam as I find the tower defense genre often a bit boring, pun intended? But after playing it for a few hours I really got hooked. As I'm writing this I'm itching to dive back into the game for another run. When you die you get a number and get to start again. Well, enough in Pac-Man, not today. The gameplay loop starts off satisfying. Mining and the accompanying sound effects tickle the cranial G-spot. The plethora of upgrades overwhelms and unlocks your ability to go further and fight harder. Exploration meets you with reward and risk. The ever-ticking clock keeps the pressure on. And yet, that is it, as far as I have played. Ultimately you do, in the game's current state, get that creeping feeling that your progress is slowing, that you're not achieving anything short of surviving longer. Space and resources become harder to obtain, the fun starts to become a chore. However, where some give this cause for a thumbs down, I lean more on the thumbs up because the underlying game works well. It's a credible foundation for the dev team to improve upon and those improvements aren't impossible, and given the year they've set themselves it's possible to look at the gameplay loop and tighten up the slop. Address the minor issues that are a touch frustrating and add features, narrative and content. This is one of those games that may go either way at the end of its journey to release. Yet, at worst and at its current price you'll get a good few hours out of the early access version if you approach it as exactly that, early access. Remember folks, if in doubt, pull it out. No wait, that's wrong. If in doubt, wait it out. Yeah that.